just as fallible, malleable, trainable as possible. So during my break of the lecture, I had another movie suggested to me that raises the possibility in another way, and again a way that would have bothered Freud, because for Freud, similar with Proust, I don't know if any of you read long books like Remembrance of Things Past, but to the extent you remember the past, you again expand the room of the eye, the garrison, the little clear part of your head, dig it up from its buried past. So that's the process working in the direction of enlightenment, which it can. It can work in that direction. But my argument has been that it is endangered in ways that we couldn't suspect. The movie I have in mind here is Total Recall. In Total Recall, the character thinks throughout that he's a revolutionary hero, and it all seems to be taking place in the conscious, clear garrison of the mind, the I, the conscious, clear place. As many of you have seen Total Recall know, however, the dream tape that he's on, which gives him real memories and avoids all... By the way, let me say, don't be too cynical about this. In Total Recall, it is true that the people that sold him the vacation are telling the truth about vacations. Vacations are a pain in the behind. They're a lot of trouble, and why not just come back after a few hours with all the right memories, but with no bug bites and, no flat tires, and then go on. So it's a good product. That's the dialectic of the situation. It's also a good product. But after he's fought this great battle, and the whole movie's taken place in this clear spot, right? Looks like an action movie. You notice that the dream vacation he ended up buying was called Blue Sky Over Mars, which is how the movie ends, with these blue skies over Mars. And you realize, well, with memories like that, now he's a revolutionary hero. And it's conscious. See, it looks conscious. So the duplicity that Freud located in consciousness recurs in culture in an even more savage way. Because even in the most private parts of the eye, where we think we're clearest, in principle we can't be sure that they're not already invaded, enculturated, stamped, coded, filed, indexed. Not in a direct, crude way like in Total Recall, because television is already more subtle than that. Again, from my generational perspective, things may look different, but I'll have to use it. You can use yours when you want to. We can talk later. But from my generational perspective, it's been a very bizarre experience to see your earlier life recreated as a kind of drama of a period in which you quasi-recognize yourself, but realize they've invaded everything that meant anything to you and taken it over as a game like Trivial Pursuit. It's like sitting in the nice cafe and hearing a Doors album on Muzak. And some very important part of what made you who you are now has become unreflective to you. You get where you don't even listen. In fact, listening is maybe where I'll want to stop. Since I've talked so much, would like to stop maybe on the topic of listening. I've got a long time to talk about listening. Paradox. But in a culture so overloaded, where we already suspect, if we don't know, that its goal is psychoanalysis in reverse, to make the parts of us that think and the ones that don't, that just react, follow, or replicate. One thing that we can do is tune out. So many of us do that in one form or another. We take the culture and simply try to tune out as much of it as we can. But there's a flaw in the strategy. And that's that no culture ever was so pervasive. Even this word may be bothering you. There was a time when culture meant going to the things created by us folks, as opposed to nature. Where's nature now? There isn't one. Everything has been enculturated. The most beautiful natural scenes there are the filmed ones that are created through fractal geometry at IBM. And I heard a great remark, and that's that the Swiss cuisine at Busch Gardens is better than the food in Switzerland. And more Swiss. You know, so why bother to go? No reason. The food's better, there's a Swiss person, there's some yodeling, I've been there. The rest of it's just clocks. Well, there's a clock, you know. So this is a culture that in a way my critical remarks are beginning to break down. Have you noticed that? Because now it looks as though that we're heading toward a society where you can plug yourself into it and it will meet your needs. You can press in the needs in the machine and it will meet them. Big screen TV, CDs all around, every human need, maybe including the earlier one I discussed, this radical freedom. I said I wanted to go out on a date with Kathleen Turner. Well, who knows? They'll three-dimensional replica, punch it in, here she comes. Hello. Since it's replicable image, you know, virtual reality suit, maybe they'll be able to sell me that and every other need for all of you, everyone. But in the matrix of needs in such a possible future system, as if it weren't already kind of like that, within such a possible future system, the only command or need that the machine would not respond to would be the one command that I have a feeling some of us would most want to type into the machine, which is the demand that it destroy itself. You see, that would be my problem with the machine. It would meet all the needs except my need to see it destroyed. It would take every other command well and meet every other need well, but the need to just shut it down. Television is something like that now. It will meet so many psychic needs and fulfill so many compensations, compensatory things for you. We all know how it feels after a day of work to turn on our familiar show. I'm not making fun of it, it feels the same for me. Cheers again, I've seen this one. Ooh, you're out of it for a while, it just... But the one command you can't order on the television or the show you can't get is the one that blows all the TVs in the world up. Don't do that. The demand even to turn it off is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing. And they go, oh, you could just turn it off. Yeah, on pain of falling out of anything that even resembles the resemblance of reality. I didn't say resembles reality, but resembles its resemblance. You don't watch TV for 2 weeks in this country and you walk around going, what happened? Well, you know damn well the same old stuff, but you still feel disconnected. You know, it's been bad here in Georgetown. You don't have cable here. Good. No cable? You know, how backward are these people? Do you guys cook, you know, over open fires? I mean, you've got no cable? This close to the White House and no cable? So I had to walk up to a bartender and I said, how's the war going? He goes, still winning. Well, I knew that. I knew it without watching it. A priori, we're going to always be still winning. That's an a priori truth about the war. I can guarantee you. Every day the news will be the same. We're winning. How about that? See, I can predict things based on my theory. We're going to win. See, it's a good prediction. We'll win. In any case, this may sound too cynical. I've tried to, well, of course it sounds too cynical, but it's sort of hard to feel bad about that, about ending up in a kind of cynical spot, because the handlers and the various the handlers of the systems of mass culture could not possibly be more cynical than they are, both about public taste, about their own complicity with power. I love to see a news report that says, oh, by the way, we're speaking for the people who run your life. Don't worry about it. This news report is not true. Then we go, oh good, I'm going to watch the not true news report. So, I mean, don't kill the messenger. You get it? I didn't build that system. I'm just trying to describe it to you. The description of it sounds cynical. On the other side of it, there is a possible kind of freedom. On the other side of it, I don't know how to describe it or how to even evoke it. But it's clear that where we can make systems of this complexity, cultural systems, economic systems, machines and so on of this complexity, surely we could make a world that could first meet those needs I described that everyone should have, And then perhaps meet needs that people have only dreamed of, like the need for some autonomy and freedom. The need for that little space up there, the I part, to expand a little bit, just a little. With the full knowledge that you're going to still be a fallible, finite human, it's still a reasonable thing to want some parts of your life to be clear and reflective. That's still reasonable to want, even in the face of knowing that the full achievement of that's very unlikely.